Howdy, everybody. This is elevator video number 8 in our elevator series here. What I'm working on here is the reinforcement plates for the elevator spar. You'll notice that the video is a little bit not great. That will change here in about 4 minutes. I have a friend that was very nice and let me borrow um, their um, GoPro-like. I don't even know what it's called, but it's not a GoPro, and the video quality isn't the greatest. And I truly appreciated them letting me use it because I had dropped my GoPro, so it was nice because I was able to continue on and move forward. But the video quality isn't that great. And so I did end up and went and bought another GoPro. And so you'll see that switch here in a little bit. You'll see that. But I do want to tell them, my friends that lent me their video recorder, thank you very much. I truly appreciate it. And I will try not to forget, and I will get it back to you, I promise. So thanks. So here we're attaching the end rib onto the spar there. In previous videos I had primed all of this stuff, and so now we're actually starting to put it together. And there's two, so there's a left and a right side. The left side has the elevator trim, the right side doesn't, so that is the right side. It has the longer rib on that end there, that angled end. While I'm putting that on there, I have a joke for you guys. Let me know if you like it or not. So, what is Forrest Gump's email password? 1 Forrest 1. Yeah, I thought that was pretty good. My kids thought it was stupid, but that's okay. So here, putting that end rib in, it is angled, so you do have to use a skinnier yoke on your squeezer, but it will fit. It fits halfway decent. You put it in there and then squeeze that guy. It's not too bad. This camera also has a smaller angle or range of view, I guess. Or the fact is, in all honesty, it probably has better settings. I just didn't know how to do it. And I could have taken some time and figured it out, I'm sure, but I was lazy. I have a full-time job, and I'm building an airplane, and I have kids to take care of, and a wife to take care of, and a house to take care of. So I don't, preaching to the choir probably to a lot of you, but I had a lot going on and just didn't feel like learning a new operating system, for that matter. So it is kind of a tight picture, but believe it or not, I kept most of it in the frame, so I was kind of proud of myself there. That's me just attaching the elevator, the doubler plates, the reinforcement plates there. And you will notice the little styrofoam thing sitting on the skin on the other side. I did make a little bit of a mistake. I had primed the rear spar of the elevator, and what do you call it? That little styrofoam piece is a rib. It's actually a rib. It's just not metal. And so what you have to do is you have to scuff the metal, because you're going to use tank sealant to attach those things. And I had primed that rear spar the entire way. I didn't put any tape or anything to kind of not prime the areas that those styrofoam ribs are going to fit. And so I did have to kind of sand off the primer and sand the metal a little bit to get back down to bare metal so I could add tank sealant to that thing. There's my box of bits and pieces. When you get the kit, it comes with like different bags, and that's kind of how they label them, and those sheets of paper are what's in each bag. What I did go through, it took me like 3 hours to do, but I bought some small like 2x3 bags on Amazon, and I had my label maker, and I did separate out all of the stuff that was in the bag. So I labeled them with the bag number and then the actual part number, because what was happening was, as I would go in and use something out of a bag, some of the things look very, very similar. And the original way that you tell them apart is there's a different number of those things in each bag. And so in, let's say, bag A, you have product 1, product 2, and product 3, and product 2 and 3 look pretty close to each other, but you have 20 of product 2 and only 3 of product 3. And so you know which ones are product 3 and which ones are product 2. Well, after you use 17 of product 2, you're like, okay, which one was which again? And then you have to start measuring stuff and looking it up online, and it just got confusing. So what I did is I spent like 3 hours one Saturday, and I separated out every single item into its own individual bag with its own individual label. I would recommend doing that when you first start, but keep the bag number, because that's how you relate things back to where they are. So what I did is I just made a label that has bag number, 1902, and then the part number underneath of it, it has, it's part number, whatever that part number is. And so I can look it up by bag number or by part number. There we go. So now I have a little bit better video angle for you guys. There we go. See me fixing the camera. I am turning out to be a halfway decent video person. That sheet metal there it's a pretty thick piece of aluminum, and I use it to test the depth of my countersink there to make sure I'm not going to go too far. Because what happens is the skin, which has been dimpled, fits into the holes on that rear spar. And so those dimpled pieces of skin have to actually fit. It's deeper than the normal 426 rivet, because you actually have the width of the thickness of the skin itself that gets dimpled out, and so you have to make it a little bit deeper. And so I use that extra piece of metal to test out that, and then I just go take that piece of metal and go put it on the skin and make sure it lays flat, and then move, then I know that it's set properly. And this last little bit is me doing the access panel for the elevator trim. And I'm also checking the angle, because the spars need to have a little bit of an angle on them, and they come angled and they're pretty doggone close, and so you don't really have to do that much, but you need to check them because the skin lays flat but it's at an angle. And then I finish up by doing the well, here I'm getting the nut plates that are going on that elevator trim access panel, and I think you'll see me show the what I did to the squeezer, the little thing that fits in the squeezer. It was kind of hot there. I was using a pair of pliers. So what I did is I ground down one side of that so it wouldn't squish the nut plate part. I did order another one of those bits for the squeezer just to make sure that I had a complete one, because I did grind kind of half of one of the sides off, so the part that sticks out on that nut plate would not be squished by the squeezer. I just put that part that I ground off where the nut plate kind of sticks out, and it worked pretty well. And that's pretty much it. I end this video on that nut plate, attaching the nut plates there. As always, if you have any questions, anything I can do better, or anything you've learned along the way, please feel free to comment. Let me know. I'll talk to you guys later. Have fun.